Yes, it's on.
We have got about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
11 o'clock.
Anybody? Yes. It's about. Anybody has a question?
Can I
You
cross?
ask. Come out.
She said no.
I have a question regarding prasad.
Regarding prasad. Yeah, good idea.
What should be the devotee's attitude when the Mahatma gives prasad?
See,
With what attitude should they?
see, it all depends which Mahatma gives. The faith which you have. So, a known Mahatma, whom you know that he is a great Mahatma, or it's a good Mahatma, from him you can take it. But any Mahatma which he gives, don't take it. This is the warning given in all the railway stations. कोई साधु महात्मा आपको प्रसाद दे देगा तो मत लेना. Because they will put some intoxicating thing, you will fall down, he will take away your things. So that is the one thing. Not only that, what happens is many come in the form of Mahatma. What happened one day when Ramakrishna was in a stage, Bhava stage, he was sitting. Then one Vaishnava gentleman who was there, he came dancing as if he is also in Bhava, and he brought some laddu and we began to put it in the mouth of Ramakrishna. Before it is, Ayyo, ha, ha, ha. He was shouting like anything Ramakrishna would say. Don't come. Because that fellow is a rascal. He was only posing as if he is a thing. So anything else touched, he couldn't touch it. This happened in the presence of so many, hundreds. And that fellow with shame, he went away. This is what happens. So, it all depends from which source it came. There was a devotee of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was daily bringing one lemon and giving it to him. He was accepting it. For 2 years he was daily bringing it to me. While coming, there was a garden whose owner on Banerjee, he had gone and met him and taken his permission. He said, yes, yes, you take every day for your Guru. So he was doing it. After about 2 years, one day, when he brought and gave it, he immediately thought, hey, ये तो चोरी का माल है. This has been thieved from somewhere, it has been burgled from somewhere. This is not a normal thing. I can't take it. He says, Prabhu, I am bringing it from the same place and you have already taken his permission. And I have been bringing for 2 years. I do not know. This is not. That's all. Then while going, he went to the same garden. The gardener was there. He asked the garden, वो मुखर्जी साहब है? अरे वो तो Kali has already sold it out to Chakravarti Sahab. Now Chakravarti is the Malik. He is in that house. Now, that is why he said Chori ka mal. He has not taken his permission. That is the thing. Very, very subtle things there. So, the source from which you get should be pure. Where you are not aware of it, take it, keep it with you, and just keep it under some tree. That's all you do. Or put it in water. That's all you do. Or I don't take from everybody's hand. If somebody insists, in those days I used to say, my Guruji has prohibited taking from anybody's hands. I only take my Guru's prasad. That's all. So only from exceptionally good people. We have to be careful. Even other normal, even the genuine sannyasis, they have purchased from some hotel and brought it, and it may be rancid, it may be kept for 20 days, and you will get tomorrow, even though it is called a prasad, but it will cause food poisoning for you. Why unnecessarily? That's all. So we are a bit selective in all these things. One has to be.
Swamiji, what about food that's actually prepared, say, by a friend or someone? You go somewhere to a friend's house. Should we, in other words, be in the custom to pray over our food? Sri Ramakrishna, we used to touch his plate and say Om 3 times. And
but he only to people who are pure devotees. As I said, he couldn't even touch this. How can he touch the other one? Could he not do the same thing with this lemon? It's not so. It's not so. See, when something is intrinsically impure, then he won't have these things. Will not.
Oh.
That's all. See, that we always tell. Whenever the thing comes, we always tell, oh, and then we do like this. See, why do we do like this? Because it is told in the Vedas, apo vivasa. The water which you put, it becomes the insulator. The prana comes naked from this to have the fragrance of the entire thing. Because they don't eat. The fragrance is taken. So when the prana, the 5 prana, they come, when they are taking, they come naked. Then anybody with some powers, with some black magic, Atharvaveda powers, they can influence them. So to avoid that, when we just put, no mantras are needed. In fact, for the sannyasi, no mantras are needed. For others, they put the Gayatri mantra. So when they put it, then that becomes the insulator. It is just like putting a covering over the wire. Otherwise, as the wire you touch it, it will give you a shock. So in the same way, we do it here and all that. So that's how we eat. So Om and other things are normal done. That is done. That doesn't mean it becomes an impure food can become pure out of it. It may not be. That's
Could you then speak just briefly about the importance of a pure vegetarian diet?
I think we already talked about it, but then the point is this, here, as even the Vedas have said, whatever we have been seeing, we do the pronunciation of Vedas in one particular way. And in the north it is done absolutely in a different way. And it is told in our Shastras, there is a Shiksha Shastra, which is phonetics, which says you should pronounce it like this. And they are pronouncing other ways. Now for instance, a Bengali, you ask him, a vagabond is going in the vagabond is going in the veranda, they will say, a vagabond is going in the veranda. So like this you pronounce, then it is always the entire letters change. But he says the Pratishakya is again another book which says that whatever has been the traditional method there, it will not form as a sin to them if they pronounce it as it is quite good. That's all. So this is the Vedas themselves give that concession. That's what happens. Now what was your question?
About the importance of a vegetarian diet.
About the importance of vegetarian diet. Yes. Vegetarian diet, they have found it as a sattvic diet. But even that, we can make it into a rajasic or tamasic by putting onions in it, by putting garlic in it, by putting a lot of mirchi in it, by putting a lot of chilies in it. You can make it into other things. So even ordinary vegetarian can be converted to thoroughly unpalatable for purpose of the sadhana. So being vegetarian alone is not enough. It has to be a sattvic food, where he says, and our Gita has specifically told, Atyushna, Lavana, he says, supposing salt, don't put excess salt. Anything more is prohibited there. Something sour, don't put, if there is more sour, don't take it. So everything should be moderate. Sour should be moderate, and bitter should be moderate, and everything should be moderate. It need not be that, it's not necessary that you should not put it at all. For taste you can put it, but it should be moderate. Anything very hot, you take gulab jamun hot, sir, it has just been taken, don't take it. Allow it to cool for a little. Atyushna, wherever it is too hot, don't take it immediately. Never take it. So that is all given there. And as he said, where especially in the foreign countries where people have been accustomed to take non-vegetarian food, doesn't matter, they can take. But as and when their meditation, other thing grows, automatically many of them get a disgust for it and they leave it by themselves. By the grace of the Guru and by the repetition of the mantra, that makes them get a disgust and they will leave anything which is not compatible with a sattvic food. So it all automatically comes. So till such time, there is no much of a problem. See, in the Ramakrishna mission, many of the chain smokers, they become the Swamijis there. Now, they don't say, you should not. They say, don't smoke in public. In your room, you do it. So they go into the room and they do it. Where is that? But a day comes and they leave it. Similarly, there is a Swamiji in Meerut. He was fond of seeing some picture once in a while. So his Guru Vandananandaji, he told him, don't bother, one day you will leave it. So a day came, automatically somebody brought a tea and he said, no, I don't want. And afterwards he never used to go. So all these things happen by themselves. So we need not give so much importance, no doubt, in India especially, because it's a hot country. So if you also take meat and all that, then it creates some problem in your digestion. So naturally, that meditation and that type of metabolism and digestion, they don't go together. And as such, you may get troubles, acidity and all these things. And that is why they said, so when you are doing your meditation strongly for hours together, if you read for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter what food you take. When you are going to really do some sadhana, then you have to resort to vegetarian diet, especially in India preferably. There also, if a community has been accustomed to it, we need not prohibit it initially, but as time goes, they will themselves leave it. When they find all the Gurubhais, when they come, they take it. And when they go to their Gurudev and they stay for 8 days, then they get only vegetarian food, they find it very tasty. Then they may go and begin to have only vegetarian. Somehow or other, they begin to be vegetarian. Rarely one or two may be that they are resistant to it also, and through their life they may continue. You can't help it, at least in their next birth, they may leave it and come out. That's all we can hope. That's the thing.
So even in addition to vegetarian diet, all aspects of life should be modified to become conducive to meditation.
Exactly so. Exactly so. That's the purpose of it. That's the purpose of it.
Can it be said then if one is not meditating, they're not even leading a human life? If one is therefore not meditating, are they really doing the duty of man? Are they really following the Dharma? If they're no meditation, they have a vegetarian diet, they have...
Exactly so. Exactly so. What is the purpose? See, you are absolutely right. A man who does no meditation, a man who does any practice, he takes beautiful, only vegetarian diet and absolutely of sattva guna. It's of no use.
Isn't there a sloka in the Bhagavad Gita that Sri Krishna says, without meditation there is no peace?
Yes, exactly so. Exactly so. On the contrary, I told you the other day, perhaps she has recorded when the Om chanting is done, even once you do it, anybody does it, you get a peace. Even that once. And I told that is why you give a pause between one Om and another Om. You enjoy. You drown yourself in that peace. Yes.
You drown your sorrows in Om. So to be swimming in the ocean of Om, even though you're swimming and a bad swimmer, you're safe.
As Mira says.
Mira says.
Swamiji was saying Om is everything, it's the ultimate, so everything is encompassed in that. So,
Exactly so. It contains everything, all vegetarian, all non-vegetarian, all animals, all birds, all gods with form, all gods without form, and the ultimate totality, everything it contains. That's it. It is the consort of the Lord. That's all. It is the Parvati, I would say. I mean, this is my method of telling about it.
we only know that method.
Huh?
We only know that method.
See, it's like Ardhanarishvara, where the Lord is given half. See? So, Om contains the other portion also. That's why it contains everything. Omityedegam sarvam. It starts, the Mandukya Upanishad, almost it starts that Om This contains everything, idagam sarvam. All this is all there. Works completely. And in Shiva Mahimana Stotra also it comes that Lord, in Om, all the gods are contained, and all the gods without forms are contained. What to say of Om? There's some sloka about it in Shiva Mahimana Stotra. The entire Shiva Mahimana Stotra, the entire our Devi Gaurutara, in those days I gave a lecture in 96 in here. That's the only thing they recorded. The cassettes are with us.
Oh, he just left.
Eh?
He just left.
He was just now telling, it's with me.
Oh, I was
And
cleaning.
Shivani took copies. Some people have taken copies.
Swami